Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the no-holds-barred look at the latest game from Paradox Interactive. I'm the Guardian, and this is Cities Skylines. An interesting little game brought to us by Colossal Order, who, from what I can tell, have only released 2 games previous to this, both entitled Cities in Motion. A bit of a step up for them. The previous games were sort of business simulation thing. You took a city and you managed all the internal transportation around it. Here they've fledged into a full-blown SimCity game. Wow. CitySim game, but might as well call it what it is. It's a SimCity. A working SimCity. A better SimCity with improved graphics over whatever the one before the 2013 release was. Can't remember off the top of my head. So, what do we have in terms of the main menu? Well, as you can see, we have access to the Steam Workshop. Very important. Mods are basically what's keeping Skyrim going, so same can be given for this. Got a news feed, obligatory, never paid much attention to it. Options menu. Got a standard array of graphics, wide aspect ratio, resolution, display mode, yeah, your usual bits and pieces. Go away. Tilt shift amount for in-game camera control, film grain amount, colour correction, override, make it look more tropical if you so wish. I've just left that as standard. Leave the game as it is. General quality, bit lacking, but what can you do? Audio, nice array of audio options, ambient volume, effect volume. Chirper, this is an interesting one, we'll get to that when we get into the game. Gameplay, general scrolling speed, mouse sensitivity, and rebindable keys, which is brilliant. Gotta love a game with rebindable keys, especially a game like this where there's a fair amount of keyboard controls. Nothing too complicated, but it's still a nice option to have. Just a few more tabs, why not? We've got a content manager where we can, manage the content, install mods, access the Steam Workshop, which for some reason is taking its time loading. No, it's not. I don't have any mods, that's why. Forget I've said that. Here's the key one. Continue game. Bit of a jittery loading screen, I have to admit, but what can you do? If I had one complaint is that the game does sort of jitter and stutter a bit on loading screens. I've also encountered it crashing multiple occasions when I'm closing the game. Can't complain too much about that though, considering, you're closing the game. And here we have the chirper. If I forgot one big complaint is the annoying little blighter that this little bird is. Seriously. It was interesting for the first 5 minutes or so, but now it's just driving me up the wall. It doesn't really say anything new either. I mean, you can delete the little chirpery messages, but I've seen the same message about, my cat, just saved by a smoke detector. Thank you, the fire department. Brilliant! I've seen that about 5 billion times. Not sure what was happening there. So, as for the city, one key thing to mention here is that if we look at the overall areas map, each one of these little squares, same size as the city space in SimCity 2013. You've got 12 of them. 12! You can have a massive city. You can have the city the size of a small English county. Or if you live in the States, I have no idea. You insert the metaphor there for me, thank you. So how do we go about building? Well, very simple. Zoom in a bit. Let's see. Yes, we have this random area. Set it up as foresting area. I have absolutely no idea how to actually get forest industry to actually grow. But let's show an example of building stuff. We can get rid of these. Go away. Go away. Go. Oh. No, don't. Go away. Yes. delete, 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 delete. So, houses. Can only build houses against roads. Build some houses. Unlike one difference from SimCity, with SimCity, when you built the roads, you basically implemented the entire infrastructure. The road went down, as did the electrical and the water. Unfortunately, however, in this game, everything has to be managed separately. So, take for instance, power supply. We have a hydroelectric dam here. There we go. Right next to the airport. Stick an electricity pylon down. Trundle it over here. Stick it there. Not particularly neat, but whatever. And now we have electricity to the area. Water. Take the pipeline. Connect it all the way over here. Probably isn't very neat. There we go. Click. Disable. Join it here. And there we have a large chunk of water going everywhere. Brilliant. As for the tools we have a wide variety of roads, more variety than I know what to do with, semi-useless, roundabouty things. I have not found much of a use for these apart from one or two throughout the city, mainly because they're so damn big. You really have to plan ahead if you want to put a roundabout in. But, what are you going to do? Now, roads, we've got, oh wait, no, sorry. Overlay. Zoning areas, so as I've just demonstrated there, you want to build houses, set up as houses. We've got some shops, put some shops in for the houses. Already got some industrial, yellow's industrial. Pain in the neck, has to be built about quite far out from the residential, otherwise you get people ill, which is brilliant. Unfortunately, there's no way to reverse the pollution apart from removing the factory. I suppose that's sort of the point, but it would have still been a nice little addition if you could, say, build forests and the trees would clean up the area for you, but that's a small niggle in my opinion. Oh, let's see. You know what? I'm going to build a road there, just because I can, connect to the main city. Unlike one of the difference from your standard SimCity, however, is, well, hold on, we have an abandoned building. Right, that can be demolished. Well, what was I say? Oh yes, one difference than your standard SimCity, standardised by SimCity, I should say, is that buildings are a heck of a lot slower when renewing themselves, which is fine, but I don't know, it seems once your city reaches a certain size, you seem to spend half your time demolishing niggly little buildings that you have forgotten about in the crevices of corners with time and mortar, which is quite difficult when you've got several skyscrapers. I've lost count of how many times I've gone to delete a building and ended up taking out 2 full-size skyscrapers in the process. Let's see, do a bit more clean up. Where are you? Yeah, there we go. Demolish that. Demolish that. Demolish that. Haha! Got them. Right, what else? Ah, yes. Electric. Standard array of things. Solar panels. Nuclear power plant. Hydroelectric dam. Still haven't figured out how to use that properly. Seems when I block off an entire river, not only does it cause flooding, as one would expect with a dam, but it generates 0 electricity, whereas partially covering the river generates more electricity. Not sure if that's a bug or I just haven't worked it out, but there we go. Oil, coal, no, well, yeah, you get the idea. Solar panels, these are completely useless, don't seem to generate more electricity than the standard ones, but hey, it's extra solar panels. Water. Pumping station, sewage outlet, water tower, water piping, your usual nonsense. That's another thing. You can't just one brilliant thing of SimCity with the modular buildings, you could set up a module onto the sewage treatment plant that would clean up, well, ground pollution. Brilliant idea. Not so much this. No modular work at all in this. Probably somewhere in a mod, but as the base game, that this is at the moment. Can't do anything really. Let's see, we have also these nice little windows to the side. Information about your city. Got electricity, garbage and landfill usage, 0. Oh right, yes, landfill's full. Brilliant. Healthcare, yeah, average health. Wind, marvellous. Levels, yay. Congestion, probably bad, yeah, quite bad. Not really got the knack of congestion, for sorting out the congestion. This really is a sort of... You will have to use the internet for a fair number of things. It's very much, they just throw you into the game and then leave you to work it out as you go along. Which I suppose in some cases has its merits, but in a game like this, there are a lot of little things that you have to sort of try and pick up along the way, which can prove slightly problematic. As for the disasters, not so much disasters in this. They've claimed that there's no disasters. However, one thing I have noticed is that randomly you will suddenly get massive amount... Yes, Twitter, go away. You suddenly have a massive amount of things go wrong. Suddenly, there's more garbage than you can actually possibly count for. Water poisoning has started to take over the city. Everyone's getting sick, and you're left scratching your head wondering why the heck it's doing this. How do I fix it? And then suddenly it stops, if you're lucky. Otherwise, there have been cases where people's entire cities have been wiped out by such a thing. Bit of nonsense in my opinion, but there we go. Then again, this is in contrast to Godzilla smashing up your city, or aliens invading, or zombies. Actually, that would have been quite interesting to see, really. Especially in a game like this. There are many features that would have been nice additions to this game. I'm not going to lie there. But at the same time, it is nice to have a proper city sim to play. It's nice. You can have a big city. You can build up skyscrapers and be an industrial superpower and watch all your little sims. Install a first-person mod and you can trundle around the city and see everything that's going on. Though I'm not entirely sure that's such a bright idea. I mean, from the surface, everything looks quite nice, but once we start zooming in, as you can see here, it sort of becomes a bit, well, resolution-wise, graphically wise, it's actually quite nice. Not the highest amount of graphics, but considering you're zoomed out most of the time, it's not too bad. But yeah. Flicking around, flying around the city. Camera's quite good as well. Down here we have... Excuse me. We have named the city, which I have forgot to change because I didn't realise you could change it, or what side of the road people drive on. Doesn't really matter. That's more of an aesthetic choice. Got a little bars here to tell us what's needed. So, for the moment, we need more medium resident. We have a medium demand for commercial zones. Not entirely. The problem here is, though, I've built so many of the wretched things that if I build any more, people will complain that there's not enough people to sell to. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that for a bit longer. Wait until it gets a bit higher. You may have also noticed these little sections of smiley faces and funny little icons above different things. This is the districts. Like you could many different areas of your city, each where you can tailor their policies. So let's try, what's this? This is a commercial zone, so yeah, we'll take last. It's the interface really isn't very intuitive at times. Right, there we go. So we can tailor the policies for each area as we wish. So for this one, we have relief for low density and high density residential, low density and high density commercial. Do we really need tax relief for offices in this area? No, I don't think so. So we'll get rid of that. We've got high residential, and commercial, residential zones, commercial zone buildings, display the ratio. It's very in depth, the interface for this game. Well, I have to admit, it's quite nice. The little airport, sat there whizzing around. Ooh, what else is there? Standard time acceleration. Leave the city to speed up. Another building speed. Yeah, it has to be remembered at this point in the game, you will have spend most of your time doing less building and more just tidying up these little bits and pieces. Ah, yes, here we are. We have the old industrial zone, which I was demolishing before. Let's see, there's a church, that's fine. Get rid of those industrial areas. The game also doesn't seem particularly brilliant at deleting all of the little the zones in one fell swoop. You spend half your time deleting little small squares that are randomly dotted about. Quite annoying. Alright, so what do we have here? Right, we have plenty of offices and we have high commercial buildings. So, it is time for us to build some more accommodated houses, I think. Let's build some skyscrapers. This is going to end badly. I'm building on polluted area. They're all going to get sick. Oh well, the industrial areas are buggered off now. It should start cleaning up over time. I'm still saying I need more bloody business, dude. Right, okay then. Let's go over here. Ah. Oops. I forgot to put the electrics on, haven't I? Right. There we go. Electricity pylons. You can connect there. Another thing, you don't have to actually have electricity pylons connecting every single house. The houses have sort of chained together the electricity supply. Quite useful. It means you're not spending your eternity trying to put all the electric pylons down. Not that the game tells you this, it's another one of these things you have to figure out for yourself. Same with the water piping. When I first started this city, let's see if I can pull it up. Yes, when I first started this city, those many, many hours ago, I can't remember where I started the city now. Oh, there we go. No, that's not it. Good lord, I've lost... Where are you? There's that. There's the old residential, there's Garrett Park, there's that, there's that. Where's the main house? Ah, there we go. When I first started, I was under the impression that sewage pipes and the water pipes had to go in separate directions, to be two separate systems. This is not the case. Wish somebody had told me that sooner, because I then ended up with a mismatch of many different pipes dottering all over the place. On the upside, however, it did set me in good stead later on in the game, because it means that I have the pipework infrastructure already in place. Oh, what? That's annoying me. Well, just stick that water pipe there randomly. Free water for everyone! Yay! What else? Yeah. Complaint that there's not enough workers. Yeah. Right, okay, so we shall build some high-res accommodation. Why not? We shall make this a sort of industrial-y area. Build some high shops. Oh yeah. For the most part, a nice little city game. Really? I can't help but suspect I've probably wasted everybody's time with my sort of waffling on about random nonsense, but then again, this is a pilot for a reason. So, get rid of that. City Skylines, ladies and gentlemen. And available from Steam for £23, 30 US dollars, or whatever your regional equivalent may be. I've been the Guardian. Thank you very much for watching. Be safe out there.